Hi guys, this is Julia from Just One More Card, and today I have a really fun video for you showing you how to color this adorable pumpkin with pencils. And I also have a surprise for you. I have a coupon for you from the KIT and CLOWDER coloring classes, the ones that I keep recommending to you. And to find out more about the coupon and about the grand prize that I'm giving away in cooperation with KIT and CLOWDER, check out my blog. The link is in the video description below. Now, I printed this image. This is a digital stamp that is available on Etsy, and I'm linking to it in the video description below as well. I printed this on Strathmore Bristol paper, also linked in the video description. I'm sorry that I keep saying that, but people keep asking me about my supplies, and a lot of them don't realize that you just have to expand the video description to see the links. So it's all linked below. Something that I realized only recently is that I used to use way too much pressure with my colored pencils, especially on the first layers. You know, I keep telling you to use a light hand because that's what I learned in the online coloring classes. Turns out that my light hand was still a very heavy hand, and I learned this because in the coloring classes you get one-on-one feedback from the teacher. So you upload your image, and then Alyce, the teacher, gives you feedback on your coloring and tells you where you can improve. And that's how I realized that I was using way too much pressure, and it caused me quite some frustration. And of course, it made me exhausted quite a bit because, you know, like using a lot of pressure all the time is quite exhausting on your hands. So you can see here that on my very first layer that I'm putting down here, there's hardly any color at all. You can see the paper through, there's still a lot of white shining through, and you can see how far back I'm holding the pencil because I want to avoid putting too much pressure onto this accidentally. And that is totally okay that it looks like this. That is absolutely fine because on my next layers, I will now add more color to this. So this is my second layer, and I'm holding the pencil a little bit further downwards so I can apply a tiny bit more pressure, but it is not a lot more pressure. It basically is the same amount of pressure, which is basically none. And I'm just going over the same areas again. The reason why you want to not apply a lot of pressure is that when you apply a lot of pressure, you smooth out your paper. You want to use paper that has some tooth. That means that it's not completely smooth like Copic paper. And when you apply a lot of pressure, you take away the tooth. So the structure goes away and it becomes super smooth, and then it can't hold the pigment from your pencils anymore. And that's a problem when you're working in layers. So that's the reason why you should only use very light pressure for a long time. So you can put down color, you can start blending colors, but you still have the texture of the paper so your pigment from the pencil can hold on to it. For me, it's an exercise in restraint because I want to be done, and like this is not looking right yet. So of course, like I need to be faster and quicker and what have you not. So yeah, I'm struggling with this quite a bit. So this is the third layer now, and you can see now I'm starting to apply a little bit more pressure, but you can still see some of the white of the paper shining through, of the texture of the paper shining through. And that is okay. This is not my final layer. I'm not applying my strongest pressure yet. But you can see that by working lightly and by blending colors together, I'm able to create a lot of depth in this image. When you print it out, it's basically just a black and white two-dimensional image. But when you work in layers with your pencils and then blend these together, you can see how nicely I blended the dark red and this orange together here. You can create dimension, you can make it look rounded, and you can really make it come to life. Now I'm going to continue doing this for a few more layers, and I will play some music for you until I am ready to put the card together. Alright, here you can see the final image, and you can see that by the end I got very intense colors. I was able to hide away all the white from the cardstock below, and it really was 5 layers, and it took quite a while. It took me about an hour to color this image. So coloring with pencils isn't something that you do in like 5 minutes or so. But I find it's a very relaxing process, and I really like the final effect that you get. For some glitz and shimmer, I added some sequins and seed beads by Pretty Pink Posh to this card, and later on when the camera was off, I actually wanted to add some glitter and sheen, so I added with my Wink of Stella brush some glitter, and then even added some Perfect Pearl sheen with the Wink of Stella actually, so that's why it shimmers a bit here. Here's a close-up of the pumpkin, and here I added some enamel accents, that's a fluid, to the eyes just to make them pop a little bit, because of course they got muted after I went over them with the color. And you can see the nice sheen and shimmer on the pumpkin there. And here's a close-up of the sequins again. And the seed bead that I adhered in the middle of one of the sequins. So that's the entire card here. The digital image is by Gooby on Etsy. I will link to her in the video description below. And please don't forget to hop on over to my blog to find out about the coupon that I have for you for the coloring classes and the grand prize to give away. To learn more about coloring with pencils, check out these 2 tutorials as well that I published in the past. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye bye.